So, hey guys, Chauzu here. So today we got the news drop ahead of the Kisna, including the new Kisna Sugo Fest and the new support Sugo. But the thing I want to talk about in this video is the 6+ Stampede Luffy, or as I like to call him, Stampy. So yeah, let's jump right into it. I thought we'd look at what Stampy did in the past and then check out what it does with the 6+. And we're basically going to be looking at 4 units due to also need to look at level limit break. So here we can check the 6-star. So I guess we have to go to the character list first. Start with that. And there is Stampede. I guess this shows with level limit break, but I can take this one and we see without level limit break first. So Stampede Luffy before, Fighter Powerhouse. His captain ability, 4 times attack for side dex and strength. His own attack 4.5 times, 20% damage reduction, side dex strength, have side dex strength as matching slot effects. And he also resists the spear paralysis by 10 turns. And of course that utility is what has kept Stampede Luffy relevant for all these years. That's an amazing combo and honestly way ahead of its time. Like, it's still amazing good to resist both the spear and paralysis. Numbers are obviously pretty low, even his own number, in terms of damage attack buff. Special does damage to all enemies. He gives himself a 2.5 times attack and ore boost, and he can give himself a base attack boost depending on HP, up to plus 1000 attack. So yeah, already done, but they were very stingy with base attack boost, so this was pretty decent back in the day when it released. Now obviously it's very meh. After this, Stampede Luffy did get a good level limit break buff. He got a -3 CD for himself in his captain. He buffed his attack boost by 4.5 times instead of 4 times for the characters. He himself got a 5.25 times attack boost now, which is a lot more viable. Other than that, they added a chain multiplier boost when you're below 30% HP. So all in all, a decent captain buff, but only CD reduction for himself is pretty meh. Especially when he already has very low CD. Special does even more damage to all enemies, changes his own slots to Psy. He boosts his own attack and orbs by 3.25 times for 2 turns. And he also has a set base attack boost plus 1000 for 2 turns. And he also can boost future color affinity special as long as they are used by side dex and strength units. So that's pretty dope since Stampede Luffy handles the other boosts, so whatever color affinity you get gets even stronger. So yeah, I've always thought that this Stampede Luffy is perfectly fine, but obviously being so selfish can be hard to use. And yeah, like the special, probably not good enough, but captain ability is what can carry, but I don't feel like it often has enough incentive to use him. So that's mainly what I want from the 6+, like captain ability that really pushes you to use Stampede Luffy more to make use of his good spear and paralysis removal, stuff like that. So let's see if we got it. Now we can finally look at the 6+. And the first thing I will say is that this is probably one of the biggest art buffs in terms of a 6+, like personal speaking, like this moment of One Piece film Stampede is probably my favorite of the movie, probably one of my favorite Luffy moments. Like, it's so incredibly Luffy to just destroy the eternal pose to Laugh Tale. So yeah, that was incredibly based, as you say. So having this cool moment instead of some random Gear 4 Bowman or whatever. Great buff. Sadly, the sprite is still that ugly one. One positive though is that they changed the animation, so he's just a 4-hit combo unit now, which means he will hit a lot faster. He was very slow before when you tapped with him, so that's dope. Other than that, still Fighter powerhouse. And yeah, let's look at the non-level limit break first. Now side dex and strength gets -1 CD, 4.75 times attack, 1.2 times HP, 20% damage reduction. Luffy himself gets 5.25 times attack, and the rest is the same as before. So very good, like you get some CD reduction now. The baseline attack boost for side dex strength units are a bit higher. They even have an HP boost now, so yeah, it's a improvement over the level limit break captain. And this is non-level limit break, of course, so it gets even better. As for the special, does even more damage to all enemies, reduces attack down and the chain debuffs by 5 turns, changes Luffy slots, including block, to Sai, boosts Luffy's attack and orbs by 3 times for 2 turns, and boosts the base attack by plus 1250 for 2 turns. So Luffy actually does some utility now, being able to remove attack down and various chain buffs. Very cool. He also is able now to change his own orb through block as well, which is new and will probably be very useful, I'd say. And the base attack is up as well, even if the attack and orb boost is a bit lower compared to the level limit break form. So that's what you will get if you don't have the level 5 level limit break, but if you do have that, it becomes even better. So this is like the final form of Stampede Luffy. Now, side dex and strength gets -2 CD. If you are a fighter and powerhouse, you get an additional -1 CD, so a potential of a total of -3 CD. Side dex and strength now has a baseline of 5 times attack, 1.2 times HP, 20% damage reduction. Luffy himself has 5.5 times attack. And yeah, the rest is the same. And they also added back the increased chain growth rate when you are below 30% HP. So the rest of this is the same as the old level limit break special. But yeah, this is like incredibly exciting to me. Like they really gave Stampede Luffy a great reason to be used. Like we're talking about legit speedrun captain now, -3 CD, and even has a pretty good baseline attack boost now compared to before, while still having that great utility with the spear paralysis reduction, a lot of matching orbs, potential increased chain as well. One thing I think about right away is that this Stampede Luffy pairs up so much better now with the 6-star Gear 5 Luffy, who resists bind and special reverse and can ignore defensive effects. Like one weakness with that 6-star Gear 5 Luffy, of course, is that he's very slow. But now you can pair him up with the -3 CD captain that complements him perfectly. So that's going to be like the ultimate combo, like either this Luffy or the 6+ Gear 5 Luffy. Both of them are pretty good and have their pros and cons. But yeah, this is like a legit pair now, not just some meme, oh, we resist all debuffs, which in itself is broken, but it just has even greater synergy now. So incredibly exciting. I think this is like the perfect buff for Stampede Luffy to see some actual use long term, to have all of those debuff resists and also being one of the best speedrun captains. Like it's an incredible combo. As for the special, he does up to 300 times his attack in non-type damage to all enemies. So that's some really good damage now. He removes attack down and the chain debuffs by an additional 1 turn, so 6 turns total. Changes Luffy's slot, including block, to Sai, same as before, but this is incredible. Prevents character slots from being changed until character lands a great. So basically, when you use Luffy's special, you will get the Great Lock, So as long as you don't hit a great, you're guaranteed to keep Luffy's orb as Sai, or whatever else you've set it up. You might be able to set up a One orb or Rainbow orb, for example. And that is obviously really great, since it means that, like, no matter what scenario, you will have one matching orb at least. And often that's all you need if you're able to use Luffy's special again, for example, or set up other buffs. Like, yeah, he's just going to open up a lot more potential for team building, which always excites me. Boost character attack and slot effects by 3.5 times for 2 turns, so even higher now. That's great. We're getting to some good numbers. Like, I wish we could get to 4 times attack, like say to Blackbeard, that you use this special 3 times, but at least this is the consistent buff, and it's a pretty good buff for being consistent. You also boost character base attack by plus 1500 for 2 turns, and we are also able to boost future color affinity buffs applied by side X and strength for 3 turns. So yeah, in my opinion, like, this is like the perfect buff to Stampede Luffy. Like, I know some people don't like him being selfish and wanted him to change design or whatever, but in my opinion, that's not really what they should do with 6+. It's what make them even better at what you're supposed to be doing, and they really nailed it here, I think. Like, this Luffy is like legit good in OPTC in 2023, and you can't really ask more from that than that. And I think he will see some legit use at least a year going forward, and maybe longer, due to that incredible synergy with Gear 5. Like, going to be able to make a lot of cool teams with those two. But yeah, that's the end of this video. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.